Hello, it is Topical Tuesday, February 15th, 2022. Steve Sipress here. And in the news, Joe Rogan continues to be in the news. Talked about him last week. He continues to be attacked. And a lot of it is coming from the establishment media. So the news, which of course does not like Joe Rogan because Joe Rogan is an outsider to the establishment media. He didn't pay his dues. He didn't go to journalism school. He didn't come up through the ranks of local TV stations, hopping around from one to the other in tiny cities all across America, and then come up to the big time. He just went right to the big time. What an outsider. The established media can't stand him. We saw that for years with Donald Trump, where the establishment in Washington, D.C., and the elite, those in control and who see their control slipping away and don't want that to happen, couldn't stand Donald Trump because he came from the outside, not a lifelong career politician, didn't pay his dues, wasn't a congressman or a senator or a governor or any of that kind of stuff. He just went right to the top, and he did things differently and brought in people onto his team from the outside who also were not a part of the Washington, D.C. establishment. They didn't pay their dues, and so on. You will find this as an entrepreneur, the same thing. 90% of Americans do not own their own business. It's only 10%, of us who do, and I don't know what the numbers are around the world. It might be more, might be less, but here in the U.S., it's only about 10% of people own our business. 90% of people, therefore, resent us, talk down about us, look down at us, which is interesting because they depend on us to pay their bills, to live. if it wasn't, and not to mention to have food to eat, to have cars to drive, everything is because of an entrepreneur who put something together. Every job was started because an entrepreneur turned a vision into reality. And I could go on, but still, entrepreneurs being outsiders. We're not the 9-to-5ers. We didn't go the route of go to school, get a good education, then get a job with a good company and work 40 years and kiss butt and climb the corporate ladder and do everything you're supposed to do. Entrepreneurs, by definition, do all kinds of things we're not supposed to do. So the establishment cannot stand entrepreneurs. So this is never going to change. You're not going to change it. You may as well embrace it. If you don't embrace it, I don't know why you're an entrepreneur. We are rebels. We are outsiders. We are different. We are, what's the term? I forget the term. We're strange, different, weird. Forget the term. Starts with an E. Anyway, exotic. No, it's not exotic. It's something else. Anyway. Here's how to turn it, use it to your advantage if you don't already do. You know, I had a wise mentor, Dan Kennedy. You might see about 20 of his books behind me on the bookshelf, who says, I'll paraphrase, but if you aren't doing something to piss somebody off, if you're not pissing somebody off by noon every day, you're doing something wrong. It's something like that. In other words, we're going to rub people the wrong way. Joe Rogan rubs people the wrong way. Donald Trump rubs people the wrong way. All entrepreneurs are going to rub people the wrong way. That's just the way it is. So either resent it or fight it, why? You're never going to change it. The key is to embrace it. In fact, to make it a goal of yours. To not just say, oh, somebody put a negative comment onto my video, like you could here, or onto my blog post, or onto my Facebook, or they lodged a complaint with my company, or somebody said something bad about me. Embrace that. In fact, force it to happen. Make sure it happens. Say stuff that's controversial. Do stuff that's controversial. All the great entrepreneurs of all time always have, always do. Elon Musk, the richest guy on earth, is despised by so many people who call him out all the time. Donald Trump himself, successful entrepreneur, despised by so many people and called that way before he went into politics for years. I grew up in New York watching his antics, not, understatement of, let's just say, not being a fan of his for years and the way he does business. And so, did he care? Did he care about me or others that criticize him or don't like him or whatever? Guy became a billionaire, did what he wants, real estate, lives where he wants, travels where he wants, does what he wants, went to TV, conquered that, went to politics, conquered that. Does he really care what I think or anybody else? Do you? Number one, you shouldn't care what other people think, but number two, you should go out of your way to do things that are going to piss people off. That way, you will attract the opposite. So, for instance, you might know certain things are going to piss people off. Like I know in this video that 9-to-5 workers are going to be pissed off when I call them lazy slobs who depend on us for a living. Now, they're not lazy, of course, not all of them. In fact, we need people to work for us. We need people to pick up our garbage and to fix our cars and to do the landscaping and all kinds of things that 9-to-5ers do, although I actually use a entrepreneur, business owner, for auto repair, for landscaping, for all kinds of things. However, I digress. We need employees to do stuff. Not everyone's an entrepreneur, but I have to tell you, I went to a couple of really good colleges, met a lot of really sharp people, but they went into the corporate world, and they are otherwise intelligent, as I like to say, very book smart, but they're really afraid of putting themselves out there in the real world. They even when they think about it, they say things like, well, but I have a family and I have a mortgage and I have college funds to think about and I need the benefits and I need the security and the blah, 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 blah. Losers, right? So right now, I have, quote, friends that are unfriending me, that don't like me, that whatever. Go screw, who cares? Okay, if you had more guts, you'd be an entrepreneur. You'd find a need and you'd offer a solution to it. That's entrepreneurialism in a nutshell. We look for problems that we can solve and we offer a solution with no safety net. We don't have a cushy government pension. We don't have benefits from a big corporation. We don't have titles. And we don't have tenure. We don't have seniority. We just take a risk and go out and get it done, whereas 90% of people not willing to take a risk, don't have the spine, don't have the backbone, don't care enough about society, whatever it is, they're just not cut out to be entrepreneurs. Life goes on. It's not for everybody. There. See what I did? Joe Rogan, Donald Trump, entrepreneurs, on and on and on. We celebrate the fact that we're outsiders, and we use it to our advantage. Go do the same. That'll do it for Topical Tuesday. Up. Phil Brakefield is here. Phil, enigmatic. No, it's what they call a. See, Phil will know this. Thank you, Phil. I'm having a senior moment. It's what they call someone who is eccentric. Is that what he said? Eccentric is the word. So strange. Someone who's strange with no money is strange. Someone who's strange with a lot of money is called eccentric. So that's a term they use for us. And enigmatic as well. And electrifying, and lots of other words that start with an E, and all kinds of cool stuff. And Phil, one of the all-time great entrepreneur friends of mine, and he has been blazing a trail his whole life, and he'd have it no other way. So all you 9-to-5 slobs, bend down at the throne of Phil Brakefield and others who are doing things you're not willing to do, so you can have things that you have. That'll do it for Topical Tuesday. Thanks, Phil, and everyone else for being here today, and I'll catch you back here again tomorrow on World Wide Web Wednesday.